Okay, so welcome to Unit 2. Today I was going to talk about the Tzolkin round. I don't know that I'm pronouncing that properly. I don't really know how to say the Maya words. I know that the Tzolkin round is also sometimes spelled with a CH and there's a Q in there somewhere. And I do speak two languages, so I just don't think that I really need to concentrate on being able to pronounce the words properly. When we get into the glyphs, so there are 20 glyphs, they have names. I believe that there are glyphs that have Aztec names as well as Maya. Some of them are spelt very similar, so I assume they're kind of pronounced the same. Some are spelt completely different, so yeah, I just wanted to say that I will call it the Tzolkin round because that is how I pronounce it. Yeah, so that is the 260 days made up of these 20 glyphs and 13 tones. They are called tones, like the musical tone, which are the numbers. They also represent the joints of the body. We have 13 joints in the body, and that I will get into later. Then one of the reasons for doing this course as well is because there are the ancient Maya and there is what is known as the Dreamspell calendar. Dreamspell is kind of like a modern day revamped kind of Maya belief system created by Jose Argelleris in the late 1980s, early 1990s. And there are a lot of differences between the ancient Maya and his version. I do go into that in a little bit in my book. I have a book. I don't really want to promote my book right now, but just to have said that, in the first few pages of the calendar, it is a planner, it is my daily planner. In the first few pages there are there is some information. There is the similarities and the differences between the ancient Maya and the Dreamspell. But this course, of course, I can go into more detail and explain that in more detail. So I do touch on the origins of the Dreamspell calendar, which is basically the only thing that he kept the same is the Tzolkin round. The Tzolkin round, which I don't have that right here on hand, should have had that ready. Is this 20 glyphs, 13 tones, 260 combinations of the 20 glyphs and the 13 tones, that they will never repeat themselves again. A specific tone and a specific glyph. It's a mathematical problem until the 260 days are over, because 20 times 13 is 260. Then just to say what a kin is. Kin is basically the Maya word for day. So where the numbers go 1 to 13 and start with 1 again, and then 1 to 13, and then start at 1 again and 1 to 13, the kin goes from 1 to 260. So like, yes, so the 20 glyphs and the 13 tones, when it goes to the 14th glyph, that would be then tone 1 again, unity tone. We would start with the unity tone again, but it would be kin 14. So the kins go from 1 to, the numbers of each kin goes from 1 to 260. But the tones every 13 days will go back to 1. I don't really pay so much attention about what kin it is, but it is just to kind of explain that there will never be the same glyph and the same tone until these 260 days are over. So therefore it would go back to unity tone 1, red crocodile, which would be kin 1. After roughly about 9 months. The 260 days are around about 9 months, which is roughly the same as a gestation period, the period of human pregnancy. Yes. Good. So that is something that is exactly the same in the Dreamspell and the ancient Maya. That the Tzolkin round is exactly the same, except a couple of differences. The Dreamspell calendar has changed some of the names of the glyphs, and some of them are perfectly the same, like the yellow star, for example, is the yellow star. White dog is white dog, and blue monkey. Emox, the red crocodile, in the Dreamspell is the red dragon. The blue deer of the ancient Maya is in the Dreamspell the blue hand. So there is slight differences in the names. Again, getting back to not being able to pronounce the Maya names like Emox, or Canil is the yellow star, or Tijax or whatever is the white flint. I don't know if I'm pronouncing those properly, but because most of the time I would talk about them in the English language, I don't need to understand how to pronounce them. I just want to throw that in there. But again, the differences is a big one, and I have no explanation for this at all whatsoever, is that the Dreamspell followers are at a completely different date from the ancient Maya. And I have, as I said, no explanation for that. I found this out because there are plenty of web pages where you can go on that they have a converter thing, which you put in today's Gregorian calendar date, and it will tell you what the Maya tone and glyph is, or kin of the day. And so I was following this for a while. This is back in 2018, 2019. And then I just sort of randomly went onto some of these many web pages and wanted to check out that day's date. Was still kind of learning and not so sure which day it was. And it was like totally wrong. It's like, how can it be, like as far as the number was concerned, it was like a lower number. Like the other day it was whatever, a higher number. That can't be. It just didn't make any sense to me at all. this when I realized I had landed on an ancient Maya website, and this was the date that the ancient Maya webpage was giving me for that calendar date. So I went over to the one I had been following for a while now, which was the Dreamspell webpage, and that made sense. It was like, there it's whatever date. Completely different glyph, completely different tone. And so when I found that out, this is when I realized their Dreamspell is in a completely different date from the Maya calendar date. And just to make a reference to my own calendar pages, I'm sure you can't see from the light here, but I have got the Dreamspell date as well as the ancient Maya date. So this book is great for anybody following either or version, but the explanation, I have no explanation. I've heard explanations to do with that. Is it the Dreamspell doesn't count the leap year? But for me, as far as I'm concerned, when it started, whenever he started this and created it, or who helped him to start it, they couldn't have been on the same date as the ancient Maya from the very beginning. And so the Dreamspell must have randomly decided we're going to start on this date, and it isn't even the same as the ancient Maya. So at this point I must say that I'm not trying to discredit Jose Argelleris' Dreamspell calendar at all. I'm not trying to discredit them or anything. I just want to explain there are similarities, but there are a lot of differences, and I'm not very sure if people that follow the Dreamspell, this new age Maya people, following the Dreamspell, realize that it's not exactly the ancient Maya. So to the 13 tones and the 20 glyphs, I want to say the tones, the 13 tones are the unity tone, duality tone, action tone, stability tone, empowerment tone, flowing tone, reflecting tone, justice tone, patience tone, manifestation tone, resolution tone, understanding tone, and the ascension tone, which do have different names in the Dreamspell calendar, and they are mentioned in my book if you want to buy my book and read up for yourself. The glyphs, like I pointed out a couple anyway, the glyphs are the red crocodile, white wind, blue house, yellow seed, red serpent, white death, blue deer, yellow star, red offering, white dog, blue monkey, yellow road, red reed, white jaguar, blue eagle, yellow wisdom, red earth, white flint, blue storm, and yellow sun. Some of those in the Dreamspell are the same, and some have been changed, and of course that's the English names. And this is my daily signature calculator, which is totally a Dreamspell as far as I know at this point in time. The ancient Maya don't have this little daily signature or day sign calculator. I created this one myself, but it is taken from the Dreamspell of their webpage. I believe that covers the most important parts about the Tzolkin. The next unit I will go into more detail about the Hab calendar, and so I hope you stay and watch my next unit. Thank you very much for listening to me today, and